E-commerce brands are wasting thousands of meta ads without even realizing. If you're running ads and you're not seeing the results you expect, chances are you're making one of these 5 mistakes. My name is Zayn, founder of ZS Media. Last year alone, we spent over £1.5 million on ads for e-commerce brands. We work with brands from across the globe, and we've seen these same mistakes over and over. Mistakes that have cost brands tens of thousands in lost sales. But you won't make these mistakes if you follow these tips. So let's get straight into it. Tip number 1, broad targeting often outperforms narrow audiences. Most e-commerce brands believe by having a narrow audience, their ads are going to perform better. They spend hours dialing in on the details of interests, behaviors, demographic that they believe their ideal customer fits. However, here's the truth. Meta's AI is so much smarter than you think. By you narrowing down the audience, you could be missing out on hundreds, if not thousands of customers. Meta's AI uses actual data, looking at who's interacting with the ads, who's converting, and this allows it to find your ideal customer. So instead of overcomplicating the targeting process, let Meta's AI do the heavy lifting and find your ideal customer for you. Tip number 2, creative fatigue can destroy performance. A great ad today won't be a great ad forever. So picture this. You're scrolling through your Instagram feed and every day you're getting fed the same creative over and over again. Eventually, you'll become numb to this and mentally block it out. Or worse, you'll just block the company page. You don't want this happening to your brand, so what can you do? I recommend that you test 2 to 3 new creatives every single week, even if your campaign is performing well. And this doesn't mean that you go out, take new product photos or product videos. This can be small changes and small iterations to creatives that are already working. For example, you could change the ad format from a reel to a static, or you could change the hook, or you could change the background color. Little changes like this can make a world of difference. I'll put some examples of creatives that I've made iterations of, and as you'll see, the differences aren't huge, but it's enough for the user to believe they're seeing a new ad. So don't wait for your ad performance to fall off before you test new creatives. Stay ahead of ad fatigue. Tip number 3, high ROAS does not always mean profitability. ROAS, also known as return on ad spend, is a number that so many e-commerce brands always obsess over. But just because you got a high ROAS does not mean your ads are profitable. Let me paint a picture for you. You've got a 5x ROAS campaign, but 15% profit margins. After taking into account your product cost, your shipping cost and ad spend, you're going to be taking a loss. But on the flip side, you have a campaign that is 3x ROAS, but has much better margins and a better customer lifetime value. This campaign will be far greater and far more beneficial for you than the 5x ROAS campaign. So instead of always focusing on the ROAS number, think about how you can increase the profitability per order, the customer lifetime value, and the cost per acquisition v average order value. If you do these 3 things, you'll be able to scale sustainably and successfully. Tip number 4, the post-click experience is just as important as the ad itself. You could have the greatest ad in the world, but if your website experience is poor, your conversion rate is going to suffer. So before running ads, ask yourself 3 things. Is my website fast? Do I have trust signals? And is the checkout process smooth? Let me show you an example. Here's website 1 and here's website 2. Out of these 2 websites, which one would you prefer to shop at? Of course you'd choose option 2. Why? Because it has trust signals, the checkout process is smooth, and it is fast. If you ensure you have these 3 things, your conversion rate will increase significantly. Last but not least, tip number 5, running ads without a funnel in place is leaving money on the table. If you're only running one type of campaign to one type of audience, you're missing out on so much revenue. Let me explain. If you're only ever reaching cold audiences, these are people really unlikely to convert. Why? Because they're unfamiliar with your brand and your product. On the other hand, if you're only ever retargeting, you're going to saturate this audience. Why? Because there's only a set amount of people that know of your brand and product. So what can you do? I recommend building a funnel structure into your meta ads. This is what a funnel looks like, and it's built up of 3 elements. Top of funnel, middle of funnel, and bottom of funnel. Top of funnel is all about raising awareness, showing people that have never seen your brand before that you exist. Middle of funnel is about nurturing, showing them what your products do, why choose you. And bottom of funnel is getting them to convert. If you implement this structure into your meta ads, you are increasing your chances of converting these users and increasing the amount of customers that you can get. And that's it for the tips for today. So if you're making any of these mistakes, don't worry, most brands are. But now you know better. If you want to make sure that you're maximizing your ad spend and you're not making these mistakes, you can book a free 30-minute consultation with me down below in the description. We'll take a look at your ads and find out what's holding you back. So don't waste another pound on bad ads. Click the link in the description below and I'll see you in the next video.